Okay, guys, we are here. We are on Overgrowth Ladder Edition, and we're here with a TVZ. And the first part of that equation, in the top right, in the pink, representing my insanity, it's the Terran player Smile.
This opponent spawning in the bottom left corner, it is the red Zerg player, DIMAGA. A veteran in the StarCraft 2 scene for sure. As since the beginning of time,
he's been around forever.
He has, like, king of the beta, baby. First StarCraft tournament that I watched, and he was in it as well. Yes, so.
I wasn't around in beta. It just didn't happen. Didn't exist back then.
Yeah, then it just stumbled into your life and was love at first sight.
I was but a glimmer in a probe's eye. Actually, to tell you what it wasn't actually.
The mineral in a probe's mouth, how about that?
Yeah. It actually wasn't love at first sight. I had a bit of a rocky relationship with StarCraft at the start because my first ever game, my friend was like, "Oh, play this game, this new game that I've got. It's called StarCraft." And I kind of went, "Okay." And he six-pulled me, and I was just like, "Screw this!"
That's... no way. Did you do something to him or something? Like,
no, I didn't.
He must have...
It's rude. He's just a rude person.
Yo, try this sick new game I played. Oh.
Yeah.
But on the Terran side of things here, Smile, representing my insanity. I believe he was a last-minute replacement for Bling. So a Terran player here for Protoss and still representing my insanity. He's going to be making a name for himself. And hey, the last time a Terran player replaced somebody that we didn't really know about too well, he ended up going to the round of 16. So will he be able to repeat history, do you think?
I honestly don't know. I've never honestly seen either of these guys play whilst in a game before, and I've never seen Smile play at all. Mm-hmm. At least I've seen DIMAGA in like WCS EU and stuff a year or so ago, maybe. But he hasn't been around recently that I've seen.
He does a lot more of the online cups for the most part. So
yeah,
and he's playing. I think both of the players are actually playing from EU. I know My Insanity is an EU-based team. They do have a team house in Switzerland, and I believe DIMAGA is from the Ukraine. So they are playing to the North American server at the moment, which could explain why DIMAGA did lose one of his drones there.
Yeah, I guess we could be on the other server because there's some rule about that, isn't there? If the players are on the other server,
we can both.
Yeah, we can switch. But I guess they don't have a problem. The lag from EU to NA isn't too bad, as evidenced by me never lagging out of these games. So this Reaper will be able to get away without any trouble, even though the impulses are being linked through the transatlantic tunnel thing. What's it called?
Yep.
I almost knew technology for a moment there and then just forgot what I was talking about, but that's okay.
It's all right. I wish I could have saved you, but I was just like, derp. Derped it too. But look at what we got here. DIMAGA dropping down a Roach Warren. He's actually doing a gasless build. He ended up dropping those gases around 36 supply, and we'll be using the first amount of gas into Roaches, because I haven't really seen the lair. I haven't seen the Evo Chambers either, so it's not going to be that kind of timing. And also, there's no third by the almost 7-minute mark. My Insanity Smile, though, decided to go for a third command center off of the Reactor Hellion, and is looking pretty standard at the moment. Hasn't taken that second gas. He's just going for straight economy. And I wonder if this Roach push is going to be a little bit too much as he's starting to get into this macro game and it's only going to have Hellions for the most part.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a little bit scary. It's supported by Zerglings, of course. They're going to be able to potentially trap the Hellions by running around behind them if they come too far onto creep. But that third base going down behind it shows that DIMAGA isn't planning on going all in off this. He's just generally trying to apply a little bit of pressure to his Terran opponent before the wall is finished, before he's really able to mass up any decent-sized forces to repel it, because he doesn't have that much production at this point in the game at all. He's not able to defend.
Oh, those Lings been waiting. They're going to get it. They see a lot of Lings there. DIMAGA did opt to get the speed as well. So he's going to go for a straight-up Roach Ling attack, but he's droning already. So, yeah, like you said, it's not all in. He got the lair. Evo Chambers are dropping down, and the Baneling Nest is going down right now. So it's not going to be that kind of timing attack that hits with the Roaches and then the Banes, with the slow Banes, where you delay attack really.
It actually might even be defensive, because instead of rallying his roaches across the map, he sent them over towards the third. So these might just be a safety precaution to ensure that the third isn't harassed by roaches or hellbats without anything being ready to deal with it.
Yeah. You know, he didn't make too many roaches, right? It's only 5. So in case there are hellbats, like you said, he would be able to deal with them. And he dropped the Spire and is getting melee and carapace upgrades. So he's just doing it the super safe way, and I like that. You know, you don't see it that often. Us Zerg players, we try to get away with as much greed as possible and usually pay dearly for it.
So true. I actually really like it from another standpoint as well. And the roaches are obviously a very cheap unit, especially in gas and lava, and that means that it doesn't limit droning that much, except by the fact that they aren't super cheap in minerals. But Zerg has a lot of minerals by this point. It's not going to cut. Yeah, you've got the resources left, so it's a really smart choice to just make a couple of roaches. It barely cuts into your tech.
And he's already up to 61 drones, so it's a very safe taking of the third. He's going to be able to transition pretty nicely here, albeit it being a little bit later than if he just went straight into it. But, you know, you sacrifice that greed for that safety, and it's good as well because, you know, Smile went for that third command center himself, so he was setting up for a macro game, and even was a little bit scared when he saw those lings from DIMAGA and decided to go ahead and make a tank and didn't take his third base until now. It's almost going to be the 10 minute and 30-second mark, and he's taking his third. And that's only because he was nervous because of what he saw DIMAGA starting out with. So maybe it's actually working pretty well in his favor by being a little bit safer too.
Yeah, it can, of course, put the pressure on the opponent just by making them think that they're under more pressure than they are. And Smile has been kind of across the map, just scouting around, skirting with the Hellions for most of the game. Hasn't really tried any big run-bys. And DIMAGA must be thinking, what are you planning? What are you up to?
Yeah. Oh, God, no. Look at the creep spread. DIMAGA, look at that. All across the map already. He sees this push coming so far away. And with siege tanks, anytime it is a siege tank-based push, you have to be very careful, because if you get caught out unsieged, yeah, you're not going to be a very happy Terran at all. So,
no, not one bit.
Damn, he's. I'm really liking his position right now. He's playing quite greedy after the fact. Excuse me, but you know, getting that fourth base as well. He recognized that Smile took the third, and is pretty much good to go. You know, are the mutas out yet? I didn't see them.
I haven't seen them yet. There's just there's Bane forces. There's a couple of roaches mixed in, but this force from Smile is pushing down kind of towards the fourth. Yeah, going towards the fourth actually, which was seen by an overlord of DIMAGA. He's now running in, going to hit everything with the Banes, and I think this is going to force Smile to back off.
Yep, he's going to get completely cleaned up here, and now there's no mutas to chase down those medevacs. But yeah, that was a failed attack if I've ever seen one before. Losing this. Did he lose the siege tank, or he did pick it up inside of that? He did lose it. So yeah, that's a little bit scary here for Smile, as he just, you know, his first push didn't do anything. It barely even made it past his first wave of creep.
Yeah. And actually, we're seeing drilling claws coming in, so I think we might be seeing a transition out of the siege tank that we saw in the initial push, just generally going towards the slightly more meta, or at least more modern Widow Mine.
I agree.
I agree with it.
Yeah, I think he made the tank because he thought that DIMAGA was doing a Roach Ling all-in or something, Roach-based. So he started making tanks, didn't take his third, got really, really scared. And then DIMAGA went right into Ling Bling Muta, and now here come the mutas. You know, I like what DIMAGA did, though. He delayed the mutas, and then got his economy all set, and made sure that he had enough Banelings to deal with the push that would be coming. Because mutas aren't really going to help with defending a push. You know, you need that gas and Banes, but now he's able to go right into this.
There was a drop in the main that was repelled pretty effectively by a little Ling run, well, not a run by, it was his own base, but just a few Lings in the main repelled that pure marine drop. Just doesn't have the tanking to deal with that kind of thing, and it's hard when there's so many of them anyway, and there's queens and stuff. Mutas are actually chasing down the medevac over that side as well, so they're a little all gone. Yeah.
Yep, got down on the left side. That was a medevac that did go down. And oh man, this is such a scary position for a Terran when you're pushing like this, and the creep is already out here. You know,
the creep is insane.
It is actually insane, you know.
He's trying to lead his opponent through the Widow Mine, is Smile, but he's not managing to do it very effectively. Only getting a couple of hits off on Lings.
Yeah, and I like that because he buried them on the creep, which is very hard to see, but now he's going to need some Widow Mines in order to defend this actual base of his. The creep is already up to the third of his, and DIMAGA is out for blood. You know, he's about to go ahead and go in with the Banes and the Lings.
Here they come. Going to roll straight towards the front. There was a huge explosion there, but I don't know what it was. I don't think there's going to be enough to clean this up, certainly, but DIMAGA doing some pretty great damage at the front, killing off a load of depots, not managing to supply block Smile, but now the second wave of Banes is going to come in, and Smile, and he's just pre-split like a beast to deal with this. Mines on the high ground. Oh, Mines on the high ground doing crazy damage, and a Thor's going to help a lot as well.
All the SCVs going down. Those Widow Mines are now destroying the reinforcements of DIMAGA, but it's only hitting about 4 or 5 lings at a time. DIMAGA is flooding through. The heart of the swarm is showing here, as I don't think Smile just has enough at all. There is not enough here for Smile. The production is already getting camped right now, and there's just too many +2 mutas with 2/2 ling bling on the ground.
So difficult to deal with once it's up in your base. Lings are everywhere, and Smile is forced to tap out.
Wow. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on game number 2 of the ASL Prime Season 3, and we have somehow crash landed on King Sejong Station, so we're going to be staying here for just a little bit. I'm Tempo, joined by Leth. How you doing, buddy?
I am pretty good. I've had a good weekend. I had a nice rest, and I'm looking forward to casting some more StarCraft.
All right, me too. Me too. Actually, it was a nice weekend too. Coming off of Thanksgiving too. I ate all my leftovers, which I'm pretty salty about, but it's okay. It is okay, because we got ourselves a TVZ and spawning in the top left corner. I believe he is actually representing Team Cascade. It is going to be the Blue Zerg player from Ukraine, DIMAGA.
And his opponent across the map, representing My Insanity, playing from Europe, but hailing, I believe, from Peru. It's the Terran player Smile.
Oh yeah. And looking quite similar to game number 1, as he does open up with that Reaper into that command center. And DIMAGA looking exactly the same himself, as he does opt to go for that gasless build. And
very, very normal.
Yeah, pretty normal stuff here. We usually do see the gas coming out, but from DIMAGA, he has opted to go for the gasless, which does sometimes leave him a little bit vulnerable to some really early game pressure if Smile decides to go for it. But once you start to stabilize and you get your 4 queens out, and even if you decide to go for a spine crawler, you can be pretty fine. You know, it's just sometimes taking the 3rd can be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it does prove a little challenging without the extra queens to kind of get the creep towards that base. Is the issue, and that's why it really slows you down. But for now, the problem for the queens is actually these Reapers that are going in, killing a drone now, finally getting a little bit of money back on their investment, and of course, scouting that it's a gasless build out of DIMAGA, which is pretty important on the scale of things. Knowing what your opponent is going for allows you to predict far better what their strategy is going to be than any amount of metagaming. Oh, I thought he was going to get one of those.
Me too. I actually thought those Reapers were going to take a little bit too much damage there, but they escaped that fate on last map too, and I thought they were jumping right into it, but well, temporarily until the Speedlings of course killed it. But look, 2 Reapers definitely need to get a few drone kills in order to be worth it, and they have definitely made it. They got their value, and they're going to be able to supplement the Hellion follow-up if he decides to go for it, which he will be. This makes it very annoying for a Zerg player.
Reaper, you've always got to be a bit careful, because making more than 1 Reaper, you're then investing towards harassment rather than just scouting potential. 1 Reaper is just a scout. You're really just investing in seeing what your opponent's up to. But 2, you really want to be killing some, at least Zerglings, preferably drones. Maybe even a queen if you're that way inclined.
Yeah.
It's nice. You know, it's nice if you can get it.
Yeah, 3 is usually that magic number, but you can still get it, you know, if you keep going in, poking at the queens. But no, DIMAGA decides to make 4 queens, and he's going for the same kind of build that he did last game, getting that speed with the first 100 gas. And I do like that a lot, because it doesn't leave him too vulnerable, and he's able to go into that Ling Bling Muta style if he does choose to. And dropping the Roach Warren now, you know, will make him a little bit safe if Smile decides to go for a lot of Hellions. But no, he drops the 3rd command center again, and he's going for that macro build, looking exactly the same as game number 1 here. Like, literally, it looks exactly the same.
It's almost, I think you're right. It's almost exactly the same in terms of just how Smile is setting up for the mid game.
Oh! getting a bit too greedy there, losing Hellion or two.
Yeah, he was too greedy, trying to get too much damage down. But is going to kill off that first queen. And if he gets the second queen, there might be a reason for his greed. Obviously, killing those queens is good. And it's going to delay the creep spread hugely as well. Now getting into the natural, I'm going to roast away a few drones to add insult to injury.
Oh, in a nice position, but he moves out of it and then gets surrounded by the Lings. And now DIMAGA can breathe easy a bit. He does have that map control momentarily. And you see that 12 drones on the way. Third base already on the way, too. And just killing those units really allows DIMAGA to breathe and really not worry about that now, as Smile doesn't really have a follow-up for an aggression play. He doesn't have any Cloak Banshees or anything. He went for the economic build by getting the third. So that's it. That's it for the map control of Smile for now. And now,
he had it, but now it's no longer made. He can't get away with that. And actually, Smile walling off across the front with his E-base, which, I mean, kind of puts his cards on the table in a certain way. It's pretty obvious to DIMAGA what he's doing. It's going to be Bio. But it was Bio last game, and maybe Smile is a Bio player just naturally. Some Terrans pick a style and stick to it.
Yeah. And it looks like that is the case, especially with the same kind of opener. We did see a bit more aggression coming out of Smile with the extra Reaper and that kind of dive into the natural. I don't even know how many drones he got. He got 4 workers killed so far, but remember, 2 of those drones were killed by Reapers in the earlier game, so he sacrificed that force for not too many units. You know, only 3 Lings died, but I guess the 2 queens is okay. But DIMAGA setting up for that macro game. Another base on the way. Look, that 4th base, he's already killed the rocks on that left side of his natural, and he's going for that Spire again. You know, Banelings coming out, 1-1, and he's just confident in his mid-game, at least, Ling Bling Muta play against the Bio style that he knows that Smile is going for.
There's a drop heading out towards the potential 4th base or towards the Xel'Naga Tower, actually. And I think that because Smile's expanded the other side, I think it's kind of a strength and kind of a weakness. Going over to that side is not as common as expanding towards the base that's currently being flown over by the medevac. But because of that, it's possible that Smile just won't see it. He won't know that there's a base there, and it might mess with his scouting information and allow DIMAGA to gain advantages through that misinformation. It also may have absolutely no effect and leave the base a little bit vulnerable. We'll have to see how the game plays out at this point. But in general, I quite like the decision. I think it's a smart call. And I love that this Overlord network is also moving past that. I think we're going to see some of those Jadong Overlords that we saw last week.
Oh, God, yeah, I love those. Yeah. Overlord speed on the way, too. You're right. You know what? I like that point you made, too, because if you do take this 4th base that DIMAGA takes, not many Zergs will take it because they see rocks and they're like, oh, well, F that. You know, I don't want to spend any of my time. Oh, my God, there's a drop inside of the natural, and then Widowmine is burrowed. Oh, drone.
Did that get the lava?
Oh, I think
that killed all the lava, I think. Oh, no, but the wave just finished there, so it's not as good as it could have been, I guess.
Yeah, that was a lot of drones that were killed. And these drops, remember, we were talking about that. Latent mutas means drops are going to be... well, not that one. But
no, that one was cleaned up.
Yeah.
Where are the mutas? Are they on their way yet? There's none on the field at this point in time.
Nope.
God.
And Smile is taking advantage of that. Peeling DIMAGA apart. DIMAGA's droning up. He's already at 83, and does he even have the army supply to deal with this? That's a lot of units here coming down, but now DIMAGA is only going to be making non-stop units. Oh, another Widowmine hit. And Smile, he could be getting prepared to make a
drop towards the 3rd.
Yeah, he could be just peeling DIMAGA apart. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Delaying those mutas allows these drops to be so effective. And DIMAGA has really no answer. Yeah, he does have that 4th base on that side, so he can go up and down through his natural. But he's just getting peeled apart.
Yeah, the Banelings all went off on a marauder towards the southern, the kind of left-hand base as well. Over on the right, up towards the 3rd, it has been cleaned up. But this 4th base, I think, may be about to fall. No! Forcing the lift of the Banelings. Very nice.
That is a
Widows,
target.
though. Where are the Widows?
In. Oh! Wow! Didn't hit that big group of Banes, though. Lucky there for DIMAGA. That is his lifeline. If he loses that, then he loses his 4th, and then could be on his way to lose the game. But he is holding on pretty strong here. He does not want to lose his base.
Yeah, and of course, this attack from Smile, we talked about how mutas would be great for denying it, but actually just the fact that it exists is great for denying mutas because it's forcing more and more Banelings, which cost the gas that would otherwise be being spent on those mutas. So it's an extra smart tactic coming out of Smile to counteract the style that he's identified out of DIMAGA.
Yeah, and Oh, it's such a scary position here. King Sejong Station especially, where the Terran gets on those 3 bases and they decide to go for this kind of push, contesting your third. DIMAGA, he just needs to go ahead and get his units out. He has the money, but he just can't get enough units out. But will there be any good units? I don't see.
No, apparently not.
Just waiting for the Widowmine hit there, but no, DIMAGA is catching a break there, but he is down in supply. There's a drop at the 3rd base once again, peeling DIMAGA apart. The mutas are still not able to come out. He's trying to sneak in a few, but he needs units. He needs to be able to deal with these units on the ground.
Finally seeing those first mutas now out towards the 4th base, and the Marines aren't focusing them down, but still, the forces are more than enough for Smile to kill those off as soon as this wave of reinforcements parade pushes across the map. He's going to shove forward, killing off Queens, killing off Zerglings, seeing a cancellation of the Banelings killed off at the base. I think the mutas are going to go down, and very shortly afterwards, that 4th.
Yep. Oh, Widowmine just hitting a Queen, not too much, but now Smile has the control. He has won this tug of war for now. The 4th is going to be going down very shortly if he does target it, but he's not. He's targeting down the mutas. And there could be a transfuse on that hatchery, but I don't know. Smile just wants to kind of end it here. And it's looking so close. The 4th does go down, and the parade continues.
Yeah. Even adding a siege tank, mixing in some siege tanks as well as the Widow Mines. That's super annoying to have to deal with both of those at the same time, because they can be used together if you put the mines under the tanks in an incredibly sneaky way. I'm sure you've seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so sneaky. I really like that use. But yes, the 4th has gone down for DIMAGA. Smile is keeping pushing forward, taking his own 3rd some point in the distant past, and I'm looking forward to the point where he decides to take his own 4th behind all of this and try and maintain the aggression, because it's getting towards the 16 minutes, and he must be getting kind of on the point where he needs a 4th.
Yeah, well, keep in mind here, if DIMAGA does stabilize, he's on 2-2. Smile has only just now begun his 2-2. DIMAGA, though, he's invested in the mutas. He has 22 out, so he's able to stabilize if he can kill these medevacs, push this force back. If he can get the Baneling hits that he needs and stabilize, he is at 67 drones. Keep that in mind. So even though he did lose that... Oh, big hit, though, there. Even though he did lose that 4th base, he is the better upgrades, but, I mean, the supply of Smile is looking scary, and GG will be called. Smile evens it up, and now we're going to go to Nimbus, and if he does any drop play like he did in this game, it could be very troublesome for DIMAGA.
Yeah. Smile says he feels alive as well, loving the pressure. He is the player, the Terran player, over in at the top left in the pink and representing my insanity.
That. He doesn't think the sky's falling down, you know? He's going to go against this player who is spawning in the in the top right corner of Nimbus. It is the Ukrainian Zerg player representing Cascade, DIMAGA.
And DIMAGA expanding outside his own base. Which I love. I really like that as a strategy. Gets that creep spread started a little bit earlier, allows the Queens to start it from a position outside the main rather than inside, and also means that if that base that's a little more vulnerable is attacked and killed for any reason, then he's already mined some minerals from it to make it a little bit more worthwhile. In addition, the base up towards the top, in the pocket natural, as it's called, that is more defensible than the outside base, so you can then take that as a safer 3rd, and it's then easier to hold from that point onwards. So you can, it's just beautiful. It's really smart to expand outside. Every Zerg should do it.
Yeah, especially because you're going to plan to go for that 3rd base eventually, and it's just nice too because well, at least in this position, it's not as big of a deal. But you know, early drop play is not gonna really hinder, you know, it's not going to mess with them too much, as that the 2 base locations are so close together, and you can't really exploit that drop play too much. So I think DIMAGA, taking that, and we saw his creep spread in game 1. He's going to be able to get his creep spread pretty nicely. And Smile, though, let's see, though, he's going for the same kind of build. He did drop his Rax on 11. I don't know if that really makes any difference. Maybe it gets the Reaper out a little bit quicker, I assume.
No, I saw that. I noticed he got the Reaper a little bit. I was thinking, I thought the Reaper was about 7 seconds later than that. What's up with that? And I assumed that I was just wrong. But if he's dropping his Rax on 11, then that makes so much sense.
Okay, so that's why he did it, getting that earlier pressure, especially with the 2 Reapers. it makes a lot more pressure, you know, and you got to think to yourself that you can't be too greedy, and you have to think to yourself as well, saying, is he going to make a third Reaper now? And then that's when your queens really start to become in danger. So
yeah. Trying to run in and gets another drone once again. Just keeps running in and sniping those little guys. What did they ever do to him?
Nothing at all. It looked at him funny.
Oh, so rude. So rude. Getting that creep spread up as well. DIMAGA is going to be advancing into that nice position that we talked about. This is probably why this, I guess, was his loser map.
I know, huh? And
yeah.
Let's see. Speed on the way once more. So this is just DIMAGA's style. It's very...
Yeah.
You know, it looks like it could be Roach, you know, a Roach push, but he just goes ahead, gets the speed. Gasless allows him to get the 4 queens out, and then he goes ahead and just does a regular macro-oriented build, at least so far. We haven't seen the third base yet.
There's warm.
Once again.
Yeah. And we'll have to see whether that third base follows it up, because on this map of all maps, this would be a good map to not put down a third base. You can see that there's a natural really easily. There's no way to deny that. There's always going to be a natural for a Zerg. They never go one base. So taking that in the third base location also provides a handy distraction if, for example, DIMAGA decided not to take a third base at all and just go for maybe some kind of 2-base aggression. Maybe we could even see the 1-1 Roach timing that Hyun does.
Yeah, you know, that you made a good point. I just thought of that. Taking this base outside here gives Smile... Well, he doesn't know Queen was going to go down, but he doesn't know if DIMAGA's taking the third base, and he doesn't know the timing of it unless he goes into that main, unless he scans it, or until he gets medevacs and decides to drop or something like that. So that is, you know, a nice point. He has no idea if DIMAGA is droning up his third right now, even taking a third. So he just kind of has to assume that it is, but DIMAGA hasn't done that yet. He's got +1 carry base on the way and is making 5 roaches. I think this is defensive. I'm waiting to see what the next upgrade is going to be on that other Evo chamber. And
waiting for it. Waiting for it.
I don't know. He has the guess, and it is going to be melee again, so... Very standard once more, but he's getting those roaches. He's feeling the pressure, and he doesn't need to defend against this, as Smile is putting on the pressure himself. First game that we've seen him not take that really fast third command center. He's dropped an armory here left, and I think these Hellions are not going to be Hellions for much longer, as some of these units are going to start to head across the map. You know, Stim is on the, I believe, yeah, Stim is on the way. Marauders as well. So not much anti-air here. So if DIMAGA did decide to go for those fast mutas, which he hasn't gone for in the past 2 games, maybe a little bit problematic eventually, but... It's just going to be a bunch of Hellbats, Marines, and, you know, a lot of Marauders. Well, at least a decent amount of Marauders.
Well, as you said, there are no fast Hellbats. This is just a very big, scary push at a Smile for the moment. He doesn't have that third command center that he's made in all the previous games, and this is going to turn up and hit pretty hard. Roaches are in production for DIMAGA, but the Marauders that are coming with the push, they're going to stim, and they might just crush the Roaches before they really have a chance to do anything.
Yeah,
they come.
And he did it. Smile doing the ballsy move is transforming on creep. DIMAGA feeling the pressure, evacuating the drones left. Is it going to be enough? The roaches are trickling out, but is there even enough to deal with this?
I don't know. If he kills all the lava as well, Hellbats are great at killing off lava, and if he gets them before they manage to turn into roaches, that's going to severely cut back on DIMAGA's ability to hold this push, especially with the reinforcements showing their way from Smile's base back across the map. But I think DIMAGA might be successfully pulling Smile into 2 small chunks. He's managing to split the bio and the Hellbats up, and it's being cleaned up too effectively.
Yeah, that split of these units was big and crucial. It did allow those links to get a good surround on about 3 of those Hellbats. Smile is getting pushed back right now, and keep in mind that a push like that is sort of all in to an extent, because he doesn't have that third command center to follow up. If he doesn't do any economic damage, which I don't believe he did, DIMAGA decided to evacuate those drones very fast, and it just didn't do the economic damage that Smile was looking for, or even the game-ending damage that he was looking for. So... I'm a little bit nervous for him at the moment, as DIMAGA did decide to go ahead and drone up pretty hard, and he is investing in Roach speed, so we may see a Roach Bane follow-up from DIMAGA, as he does start to spread his creep out and get the Baneling speed, too. Whoa. I'm wondering.
I like that as a strategy. Going for Roach Bane in this situation would be great, and of course running the Banes up and into the tech lab would cause the splash to go onto both of the supply depots in equal measure as well. So you can be really very effective with a well-placed Baneling in this situation. But for now, he might just be pulling back. We're not seeing a great production of Zerglings at this point, which might be made if he was planning to go for a Roach Bane timing, just because you need them for the Banes. And instead, seeing, oh no, there are a few Zerglings on the way. I am watching and waiting to see what comes. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
you
wow.
got this. You got this.
You know what? DIMAGA ended up canceling his upgrades earlier so that he could survive. You know, he canceled it to make some more Roaches. I realized it because here come the upgrades now. They're a little delayed. But Roach Bane is going to be pretty effective if these Siege Tanks are not able to snipe the Banelings.
Those Roaches pulling back just a little bit. Can't really engage into a Siege Tank. It's just not a winning battle. And instead, those upgrades that were cancelled are getting cancelled by force. This time, Smile saying, nuh-uh.
This follow-up push is really nice, and it's catching DIMAGA off guard. Bailing speed is not done. I think he canceled it as well. He says, I'm not going to be able to utilize it. Oh, it did finish. It
finished. That is probably pretty fortunate because he needs that to catch these units. The Roaches actually being, the tank, being picked off by a counter swing from the Zerglings running around the back. And a few Lings and Banes are going to join the main force as he engages here. This is going to be a tricky fight for Smile to win.
Yeah, this is one of the best situations that DIMAGA could be going for. Getting that Roach Bane instead of going into Ling Bling Muta means that he has that brute force on the ground, but that tank, the second one has arrived, is starting to put in work. And it's really hard to engage here because the creep is not spread out even to that ramp because it did get cleaned up by Smile. But he's going to need to be able to clean this up. This is all in from Smile. He does not have a third behind this. DIMAGA, is he going to be able to hold?
He is in serious trouble if this push doesn't do something, but I think it could. DIMAGA, however, pumping full units off 63 drone economy. He's looking pretty good. And this push forward, there are a lot of Banes here as the thing, Tempo. I think he's going to do really well with this defense.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to go off of creep, you know? If he doesn't overextend, there's no reason to go off the creep just yet. He's setting up a flank right now, DIMAGA is, and Smile is trying to put the pressure on, force those units to come back forward, but he doesn't need to leave there. He can go ahead and just mass units. He has the better economy, and if he gets that nice surround and goes around, he'll be able to clean it up. And that is exactly what he's doing.
Here it comes. He's moving in with the Roaches and Banes from the rear, actually not sniping the units on the high ground. Oh, he's not picking up the tanks. Why aren't you picking up the tanks?
Needs to do that. The Banelings were kind of wasted on nothing. Some Marauders that were on the top, but he does have enough units here. Smile is on 0-0, as is DIMAGA, of course. But these units on the ground are starting to push it back. The tanks have been cleaned up, and just more units out of DIMAGA are coming. And this is pretty intense, actually. I think that DIMAGA is feeling the pressure as his money is getting high. He hasn't been able to get those units out, but he is starting to push it back. This tank is going to try to get in position, but I don't think there is enough here for Smile as he does lose that tank, perhaps, and that is just lets DIMAGA breathe so much more with not having to worry about the tanks or any of that AoE damage. GG will be called, and DIMAGA will be going to that winner's match, and Smile will fall to the loser's match in a very, very... Whoa, that was a pretty crazy TVZ there. Two different styles, and he did try to switch it up in that last game and almost caught DIMAGA off guard. But DIMAGA doesn't play too greedy, it seems.